How do you work from 8 to 5, have only weekends free, and not feel like you're wasting your life? I always feel this way until I'm unemployed. Then I wonder where the good times went. After having been unemployed for 10 months, this is the thing. Words like free, waste, need to be put into context, not of time, but productiveness and mental well-being. Being unemployed, I had a metric ton of time, but did nothing productive with it. Partly because no money to spend, but also I felt really depressed. Don't confuse that with being sad. There was this fatigue that just plagued me because of a lack of routine. Granted, I'm in the 6-hour workdays 4 days a week camp, but I'd rather be employed than not. A better question would be to ask those self-employed people what their lives/days are like, because there is a sort of work to eat, be your own, boss make your own hours element there that a lot of people are actually wanting. But it's best to get that tale from the horse's mouth. It's depressing how our society has been forced to work rigid schedules for so long that people no longer know how to structure and use their own free time. That's not a sign of a job being good. That's like the bear that was released from its cage, still circling in place for hours because it has no idea what else to do anymore. It's better than being homeless, I guess. I was chronically homeless for about 15 years. I slept in the snow, the mud, the bushes, church basements, people's floors, and holding cells. I ate at soup kitchens, food pantries, and even from trash cans and dumpsters. For the last 5 years, I've been fortunate enough to have a reasonably decent 40-hour-a-week, Monday to Friday warehouse job, and share a 2-bedroom mobile home with my brother. Every morning, for the last 5 years, when I get up to go to work, I am grateful that I woke up in my own bed. By making the most out of the time you do have, I feel like this hasn't been upvoted enough. Jobs are jobs. Some people get lucky and love theirs. Most don't. A big part of it is having stuff to look forward to. A weekly class, a dinner with friends, a movie night at home, a road trip on the weekend. There's something about planning ahead that makes your workday a little more bearable, because you know there's a fun thing at the end of it. Even if it's, ooh, tonight is do-nothing night. I can't wait to immediately jump into my PJs and order pizza and play a video game for 3 hours. Make work the thing that funds your fun. It's part of your life, but not your whole life. And you get to dictate how you show up and what you do with your time. Because I get a reasonable salary for it that lets me do the things I enjoy. If I didn't do it, I would do a lot fewer enjoyable things in my time I wasn't working. Also, I don't hate my job. That helps a lot, LOL. It's kind of crazy how hard it is for some people to realize that jobs can actually be enjoyable. If I won the lottery today, I'd still go into work tomorrow. 2 things saved me: ruthless defaults and batching. I treat weekdays like autopilot. Same wake time, prepped meals, gym right after work, clothes in my bag, phone in another room by 10. I batch errands and deep chores on one weekend morning, leave one afternoon totally free, and pre-book one fun thing for the week so it actually happens. Tiny, repeatable blocks beat motivation. Get off the phone. Stop scrolling. You'll be surprised how much time you actually have outside of work hours when you're not wasting it away like a zombie looking at your phone. I really enjoy my job. My coworkers are pretty much my friends. I love coming to work, as cheesy as it sounds. Yes, most of us want to work at something, but having our work hours prescribed based on calendars and clocks is not how we are supposed to function. This is the only way I have found, and it's highly dependent on the work culture and individuals you have around you. Over the last year, I've watched the job Elle enjoyed go to hell because all the good people left. My duties haven't changed much, but my coworkers have, and I'm miserable now. You don't realize you're in the good old days until the good times are over. Real answer? These are the options that I see. A. Have a job that you enjoy, be proud of, and become an expert at so much it doesn't feel like a waste of time doing it 9 to 5 for years. B. Have your own business which you put all that energy and time into. That way, the rewards and destiny are in your hands. C. If A and B are not options for you, decide what you really want to do, be it a passion project or retire early and not work, whatever. Then work like heck and save everything you can and get into investing to sacrifice 10 to 15 years of grind to get there, financial freedom. If C is not an option, then last resort answer, D. Find something you don't like but can do that pays as much as possible to enable the C plan. Maybe that's an oil rig worker, or the sex trade, or sales. Whatever you can do that makes bank and gets you to see above. How do people spend 8+ hours staring at their phones and not feel like they are wasting their life? Fuck, I need to get off Reddit. By choosing a profession that doesn't make you feel that. Might be a motivating factor to stay in school or give a shit in life. I was a drywall laborer straight out of haute school. Disgusting and physically labor intensive. Nothing motivated me more to go back to school. Got a technical diploma, worked in a manufacturing shop maintaining robotic arms and doing more labor work. Absolutely hated it. Nothing motivated me more to go back to school. Got an engineering degree. I now love my job and my life as a result. We are built to work. Work on something fulfilling and that you're good at, and it makes both your work time and your time off meaningful and purposeful. By realizing if I don't do it, I don't have a home, a car, and food. Beer and lots of it. I've had both. Jobless me had endless Saturdays and anxiety. Employed me has a budget and a calendar. I think it comes down to which tax do you prefer, time or money? Are you serious? Only weekends? People used to have to constantly work to provide themselves with even the most basic food and shelter. Furthermore, working day shift 5 days a week and having weekends off sounds cushy as hell to me, and I know for a fact I'm not the only one. Besides, working gets most people interacting with their fellow humans, and definitely out of the house, at the very least, much less producing something or offering some kind of service. That isn't wasting your life. Not only that, but someone has to be working to keep the roads functional, the restaurants open, and all the other things we take for granted. Sorry, nothing personal, but I strongly disagree with the idea that working is a waste of life. Yeah, I got laid off in February and still haven't gotten a full-time job. The first 2 months, when I still had a bunch of savings and was getting severance, was literally the best. Then the money started drying up. I started spending more time learning, applying for jobs, and working on personal projects, hoping to make money from them. Started to get depressed from doing all this productive stuff without seeing any results. Plus having to penny pinch and basically not do anything fun that would cost money. Especially sending out tons of resumes and only being contacted twice. Luckily, I managed to get some contract work, where I can set my own hours and just knock stuff out from a Kanban board. It's significantly less money than I was making at my real job, but at least it can keep me afloat. Hoping things get better, lol. But yeah, not having money is the problem. It's easy as shit to be busy and happy when the money is taken care of. I was unemployed for a couple months this year, but had severance to live off of for 3 months. I think it'd be different if I had a lifetime's worth of money or even a year's worth. Even though I was in no way starving, I still felt the pressure to not waste my time doing anything fun, but rather stick to the grind of getting a job again. It takes a lot of financial freedom to actually feel free, unfortunately. I did do a couple of projects and move during that period, but it was still very strange to not have structure. It was a bit emotionally isolating. But the flip side is total unstructured gig economy chaos. Never knowing how much money you'll have at the end of the week. Never knowing what kind of work you'll have to pick up. Where you'll have to move to get work. Jumping from contract job to contract job every 3 months with one foot out the door the second you start, etc. I work in IT systems engineering and know a lot of contractors who do this. Could never do it. I want the certainty of a paycheck for as long as it lasts, having a single workplace to go to, mostly structured hours, etc. Maybe I'm the circling bear. I like structure and a clean break between work and non-work time. What might be more unhealthy is modern jobs that don't ever end. You work your set hours, but then could get called back to do just one small thing after hours. Tech is especially bad for this. So many people have hero complexes and don't realize they're not getting paid like doctors to be on call 24/7. I would love a decent paying part-time job, like CEO. That's only if you're a founder that basically lets the company run itself. Most execs, including CEOs, are extreme workaholics.